Moderation helps everyone to feel safe. To build a positive, okay. I think everybody can feel safe. If you don't feel safe, then you should come to my event in Long Beach, Washington at the end of September, or you can come out to my Collie Fundamentals event on October 12th in St. Joseph, Michigan. So I'm just jumping on here live real quick. I got this question yet again, and I want to tackle it. I'm sure this will not be the one last final time ever, but maybe it will be this time. Good to see you. Hey, what's happening? Hi, what's going on? What's going on? It's kind of an impromptu jumping on here, but yeah, I've been long time no see. Yeah, dude, I haven't been live for a long time on here. Check it out. I got the cabin behind me. I've been working on building my home. And I'm starting, I don't know if you see these 4 poles out like that. Just started building the new training arena. This whole section over here is going to be a big training area for Collie and calisthenics and primal movement stuff. And I'm going to be putting in some adult size monkey bars and stuff like that, so I can start working on some all that stuff. I'm building a front porch to my cabin right now as well. And and I'm putting up a big fence that's going to be going around my fruit trees to protect them from the deer. So, but yeah, as I was reading this coming on live, they got, YouTube's got all these new warnings and stuff like this, and moderation or moderating stuff to keep it safe and all that. And I was just saying that if you're not feeling safe on here, then you should probably come out to one of my upcoming training events. I got Long Beach, Washington. I'll be out on the West Coast at the end of September, September 26th through the 28th. Registration is open for that over at colliecenter.com. I'll do all my plugs right now. So all you West Coasters, I have not been avoiding you. It's just taken this long until someone seriously wants to really bring me out and see it all the way through. I had a couple attempts before, but then, stuff would go down and there wouldn't be any follow-up. But now, I think we got a pretty serious practitioner out there, my man Keenan, and out there in Long Beach, Washington. So he's a good guy. So I want to make sure I get out there, train with you West Coasters, since none of you want to fly over here to the East Coast. I go all over the place. And that's what I did when I was training and coming up and learning from all these different teachers all over the place. I had to go to them. I couldn't wait for them to come to me. And I just found ways to make it work. But not everybody can do that, I guess. But I also have a one-day Collie Fundamentals that I'm going to be teaching in St. Joseph, Michigan, October 12th. It's about an hour south of Grand Rapids, right there by Lake Michigan. That's a one-day event. It's actually a 3-day event for me because I've got my Inner Triangle group that we're going to be training for 3 days out there. It's our Inner Triangle and Inner Triangle candidates. But then we went ahead and took the last day, and we want to open it up to the public. That way we can do some Collie fundamental stuff, and we'll train from like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or something like that. Maybe break in the middle for a little lunch if Kaylee wants to. Kaylee is hosting it. For those of you who have come out to any of our events, if you've ever trained with Kaylee, then you know all about her. So she's our ultimate destroyer. Let's see, I don't know if I go this way. I don't know if I'll lose the signal. So you might have seen the title of this. I was watching your last video you posted when I got the notification for this live feed. Awesome, Doug. Awesome. So if you notice, the title on this is about, why I'm no longer certified. I just got this question again on my last community post here on YouTube. Who certified me to teach? I've answered this question so many times over the past almost 11 years. September will be 11 years as Collie Center. And I know it could be a little confusing and all that stuff because I've trained with a lot of people over the years. I used to hold certification authorizations from a lot of people, not just in FMA, but also in Jeet Kune Do and in Silat and in boxing. But over the years, especially over the last about 7 to 10 years, as I've really been building out my own training and my own ability, my own teaching ability, I've learned that I've come to my own conclusion that certifications are a joke, especially at least in the FMA world and in the JKD world. They're a joke. I can't speak for other martial arts because I'm not, I hope I don't lose you guys as I'm going through here, but I can hear some tractors and stuff way out there. I live out in the middle of nowhere in the country now. So, no, I don't want to always be certified to you viewers. I got something better. Okay? I don't believe in it anymore. I haven't believed in it in almost a decade now. And the reason being is this. No, I'm not certified, guys. Stop saying that. I'm not certified. I do not acknowledge any of the old certifications that I ever had. I don't acknowledge them anymore. I haven't for a very long time. And the reason being is, over the years, what I've learned is that in order to achieve a certification, it's really about achieving the minimal requirement. You do the minimal requirement, and then you're certified to teach. And over the years, as I have met people in different martial arts backgrounds, especially in FMA and JKD, these have been my main certifications that I held in the past. What I've learned is that a lot of people that hold these certifications, they don't actually know what they're teaching. They don't remember the fundamentals. They don't remember the forms. They don't remember the set principles or concepts if you're talking JKD. They're making up a whole bunch of bullshit because they're a teacher now. And the biggest one, certified to teach, nobody knows how to teach. They've never been taught how to teach. Check out that guy. He's my buddy. That's my dragon right there. See, when you live out here amongst the nature and you're one of the beasts, you can do that. You can hang out with your dragons and stuff. See that? He didn't even move. He don't even care. He knows me. And I know him. Her. But, but that's what I've learned over the years, is that that's what it means, is that people are just being certified at the minimal requirement, and they've never been taught how to teach another human being and transfer the skill over to the 16 different personality types, according to the Myers-Briggs scale, and the variances of that. And I started teaching martial arts in somewhere around 2007. So 18 years about now that I've been teaching martial arts. And where I've learned how to teach is through observation. And actually, I'm not talking about martial arts teachers. Yes, I've learned through observing martial arts teachers, but I started studying how elementary school teachers teach, and high school teachers teach, and college professors, and athlete coaches. And I started to really educate myself in the art of teaching. Okay? Now, teaching online and teaching in person are kind of different skills. But that's how I learned how to actually teach. So who was I certified by in martial arts to teach? That would be zero. I have never received a certification in martial arts that actually certifies me or anybody that I've ever seen or known with a certification to teach. Never seen it. And I don't know about you, but I've been to events where the senior instructors of those events refused to train. They refused to work on a drill with me. They had to go water the sand instead of not water the sand and just work out with me on this drill for 5 minutes. No, man, I got to water the sand because, so the sand doesn't blow in our eyes. I thought this was all this information was based on street fighting. Who gives a shit if there's sand blowing around? But and I have learned from teachers who had to refer to their notebooks. They didn't know what they were teaching. I've had to help teachers remember their own curriculum. I have asked teachers okay, I'll just pick on a little PTK here because everybody knows that I have a PTK background. But I've asked PTK teachers in the past that are certified gurus about certain principles and things, and they can't answer these basic questions. I've asked back in my JKD days. I've had certified full instructors and senior instructors not able to explain basic stuff when I would test their knowledge, and they couldn't answer the basic questions on the fundamentals. But these were all people who were certified in their martial art. The other thing that I have learned, especially in the FMA world, I don't really give a shit if I make people feel bad in FMA or JKD community anymore. I don't really feel like I'm a part of it anyways anymore. I mean, I do promote Filipino martial arts, obviously through Collie Center channel, because I do love Collie, Eskrima, Arnis, whatever term you want to use. I don't care about the politics of things. I never did. I love the art. It has done so much for me personally. I've gained so much personal growth out of it. I've gained a lot of skill. I've gained a lot of success in my life. I believe it is the primary thing that has maintained good health in my body, mind, and spirit is Collie, Eskrima, Arnis. I don't care what the name is, what people want to call it. Stick fighting, blade fighting, whatever. I don't care. Those are just names. But I do absolutely, that is a huge passion of mine. It has been my life. I mean, I've been training in FMA since I was 15. So it's been a long time, it's been a long time. But the other thing, especially in the FMA world, that I have been seeing over the last, decade, little over a decade now, probably the last 12, 13 years, 14 years, that I've been witnessing myself. Maybe some people have been around longer than me. Maybe you're going to be like, oh, this has been going on forever. But certifications are simply nowadays just being bought. You pay $500 or you go to a weekend seminar or a weekend whatever, and you're certified instructor in that whatever martial art or FMA denomination, whatever it is. I've had students of mine of Collie Center. I've had them go to other people's events. I'll give you one example. My student Steve, he doesn't train with me anymore. But he used to train with me. He trained with me for years, back when I was out in Chicago. And he would drive about an hour and a half every time to come train with me. And he did privates with me. He would come out to my classes, come out to all of my events. I mean, very, very dedicated, and became a very skilled practitioner. I would say, intermediate level as far as what we would kind of consider that position here at Collie Center. But, he went to a seminar. I won't necessarily say the denomination of it. It was an FMA seminar. And he went there basically because he wanted to spar the host, the head honcho guy. And when it came time for the sparring, he said that the main dude was gone. Like, he couldn't find him. He vanished. But he sparred with other instructors there and all that, and everybody was like, "Dang, you're really good." This is his story, according to him. And they knew that just by his movement and the way that he trained and his skills and all that, so yeah, you train with Collie Center, like you train with Paul Ingram. And Steve was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, they're all like, yeah, we could tell. So to me, that was a pretty cool compliment. But Steve said that after the seminar, the day after, the host calls him up and says, hey, man, Grandmaster was really impressed with you at the seminar all weekend. And he wants to know if you want to be a certified teacher in, under him. And if you do, it's just $500 and we'll mail you the plaque. Steve's like, I've literally only trained with your Grandmaster for one weekend. Like, he's like, I don't even train your stuff. How am I supposed to be a certified teacher in your stuff when I don't even train your stuff? Like, I spent like 10 hours with you guys. And a lot of it was just not even training, But that's what's going on in the world of martial arts, especially in FMA. And it's just become very political. It is really no longer, maybe there's these really small few groups out there. There's a couple that I know about that do still truly believe in skill acquisition. But the majority, it's just a political game. Or it's just become this game of, I don't even know, I guess fame. I don't know how somebody can become famous off of this stuff. I mean, okay, so you have like 100 people that are like cheering you on. I don't know if that is 100 people qualifies fame. I don't know. But that's what I've been seeing over the last decade and a half or so. I saw the same thing in the JKD community. I see the same thing in the FMA community, and I'm sure it exists in many, many other martial art communities as well. And that's a shame. That is a real shame. And all those people that are doing that should be, I mean, it's just, I don't even know. I don't want to necessarily put bad juju out there, but it's pretty bad, in my opinion. So here at Collie Center, we don't do ranks. I don't certify people. What gives people that train at Collie Center the deservance to teach is their skill. And then they want to, but they have to have skill. But here at Collie Center, like, we don't just teach people. We don't just instruct people. We coach you along the way. And, there's been very specific methodologies on how to teach each lesson and transfer that over to multiple people. And when somebody wants to become, we don't really call our people teachers. We call them coaches. You know, we call them leaders. We call them coaches. But when somebody, you know, usually inner triangle, you know, at Collie Center, we're kind of, we have like, you know, the general population. And then we do have what is known as our inner triangle. And the inner triangle is just those who have been extremely dedicated, you know, with in-person training, coming out to the events so that we can actually measure the skill development. I'm sure a lot of people that are training with Collie Center solely online, I'm sure you got a lot of skill, but it has to be measured in order to qualify somebody to be in inner triangle, right? And then it's not just about acquiring a skill for inner triangle, but also the ambition to keep going, to keep improving yourself. You know, and with this, not only does your college move, but what we see across the board is that, you know, they're improving in other areas of their life. I mean, this stuff is kind of like, it's up there. I don't want to like toot my own horn here, but this isn't me. This is inner triangle that, you know, I've had these discussions with. It's like up there with like Tony Robbins' personal development stuff, right? If you ever seen Tony Robbins and his like Date with Destiny, and it's like $5,000 to get a ticket to this 2-day seminar event or something like that. But I mean, it's like our training is kind of up there, you know. And I'm talking about our in-person stuff. I'm talking about like the actual contact, you know, like coming out to ITCs or coming out to, you know, just all of our different training events, and really spending the time to grow and acquire skill. You know, I always tell, you know, I hate saying my people, my community, Collie Center community, Inner Triangle, that if I was to ever certify them, if I was to ever really, you know, sign a certificate and hand it to them, they should fire me on the spot. And they should look at me and say, bro, you are way behind the timing. I deserved this 6 months ago. You know, I want them to be that good and know that they're that good. You know, not just saying it, but to really know it. I mean, you know when somebody knows something. You know when somebody's really got something, especially when it comes to this Collie stuff. And it's not just, you know, they're not just blowing smoke. But yeah, I mean, that's why I don't hold any of that stuff anymore. I just over the decade and a half, I've learned that certificates are complete bullshit. At least in FMA and JKD and a few others that I know of. You know, I've been around this stuff for a while now. I've seen a lot of the ins and outs. I've been around the politics. You know, been affected by the politics of all this FMA stuff. I've had the politics try to get me into their bullshit. And yeah, I want nothing to do with that. And the certificates are just the icing on the political cake, you know? So, but this is what I do full time. Well, now I'm also building my home. I have my experimental garden. On my Living Off Grid channel, I've had a few people like, you can't live off that garden. No shit. It's 4 raised beds, dude. It's just an experiment. It's my first time gardening here. And I got all this other stuff I got to do. Like I got to build a house. I got to build a home before I'm focusing, you know. But I got to harvest some of my Thai basil. It smells so good. My thyme. My sweet basil is bolted. I'm going to see what I can harvest out of that, though. Cinnamon basil. I don't know if any of you are gardeners. Got a bunch of my sweet potatoes. I got to start cutting the greens and eat some of those greens. You can't eat potato greens. Sweet potato greens, you can. They're not of the nightshade family. The sweet potatoes are in the morning glory family. You cannot eat regular potato greens. These are in the nightshade. Those will hurt you. But sweet potato greens you can eat. I got my mints. Got some little lizards in there. So yeah. But anyway, since I got some of your comments, let's go ahead and read some of your comments here. And I'll hang out for like 5 more minutes. And if you have any questions or anything you want me to tackle, then I can go ahead and do that. I don't care about certifications. I care about effectiveness. Keep it up. Yeah, I think that's most people, especially nowadays. I think most people are understanding the martial arts bullshit nowadays. And thank goodness for social media, right? What people don't realize is that it's really opened up all the bullshit in the world. You'll always be certified to us. Hey, how's everybody doing? Boss. Hey, big city. Are you lost in the woods, bro? I got okay, sir, for that. That's awesome. I could navigate from the constellations, so. But yeah, dude, that was good. Okay, so you're not certified by normal pretentious standards, but by effective standard. We know you are more than. Oh my God, I've always been saying this. Don't trust coaches who don't practice what they preach. Absolutely. Unless they have health issues. Exactly. Yeah, that's something different. I mean, if they've had something happen in their life, a tragic accident or something like that, I mean, that's understandable. Like, they can still be a good teacher. And that was the thing I was saying about like some of these certifications. Like, I've never had a certification where the teacher actually taught me how to teach other people. So I don't know how you can certify people to teach when you don't teach people to teach, right? Doesn't make any sense. I never even asked if you were certified. I simply liked what you did and the way you taught it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The smart people, big city, don't ask. They don't care. I think I can speak for everyone when I say that we can tell you have passion for this and you put real effort into your teachings. We can tell that learning from you is beneficial. Try. Who cares what other people say? Keep training, and who cares what others say about you? See, I don't like that. Who cares what other people say? Keep training. Who cares what other people say about you or think about you? I never liked that quote because it really matters what the right people think of you. You know, it absolutely matters in life. It doesn't matter what the people that don't matter to your life or what you're trying to accomplish, where you're trying to go. But the people that it does matter, absolutely matters what they say about you, what they think about you. So I don't believe in that quote fully. Knowledge is the most important thing. I could debate that. Certification means you have to pay somebody to teach what you paid to learn. I don't know. I think certification just means that you gave somebody else money. But knowledge is not the most important thing. Understanding the knowledge is actually more important than the knowledge itself. You could have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't understand it at the physical level in Collie, then the knowledge is just a waste of material. Oh, I love how real you are. Thanks. If you do something full-time for 10 or more years, I got gnats everywhere. When you live in the deep south in the summertime, there's just gnats everywhere. You're considered to be expert level and you're qualified to teach. That's in any field. It's called the certification scam. Meanwhile, talks about this. Oh, yeah, it absolutely is a scam. It is a massive, massive scam. Like I said, unless you're going, your education for being a heart surgeon or something. It can be like it makes sense. So I don't want this guy to disturb. Greetings from Bosnia. Social media is a lifesaver if you use it right. It's true. Dude, you helped me get through COVID. It really helped. That's awesome, bro. They can never strip you of your skills. That is absolutely true. I remember when I was, an authorized instructor in this one denomination, and then I got kicked out of that denomination, and they sent me this whole notified letter. Like, I think it was actually signed by a notary, or they actually signed it. And I had to go out of my way. I had to drive all the way to FedEx. It was a Saturday morning. It was before class. I had to leave extra early to drive all the way to FedEx to go pick up this termination letter by this denomination. And then in their letter, they said, do not ever tell anybody that you were ever associated with us. And, that's one of the reasons why I don't talk about my teachers a whole lot anymore. Because that was just complete bullshit. Because that teacher was actually really good. As far as a teacher, anyways. Good stuff. First time on a live. You did your first Arnis Collie class last week. I watched your videos previously and it helped a lot. Hey, Lunatic Reason. Congratulations, man. Welcome to Collie. Arnis Eskrima. It'll change your life if you stick with it for the better. I've learned more from 1 year of Collie with your stuff than 3 years of a belt factory where I got up to brown belt sash. See, I've never heard of brown belts and sashes in Filipino martial arts. This is all new. And I know that there's a lot of Taekwondo and karate and stuff like that are teaching FMA as an extracurricular at their school. I have been on YouTube and seen some of these people's videos pop up. I actually had a student here a couple months ago, and we watched one of these videos. It kind of popped up, and even my student was like, dude, this guy's watching your videos. I'm like, yes. And she was like, he's teaching your stuff, and it's wrong. He's not even teaching it right. But, he's a Taekwondo guy, which is great that you're exploring these other arts. But go train Collie with Collie people before you start opening up Collie classes at your Taekwondo school. This is what fucks everything up. And this is what makes me want to disappear and just nuke Collie Center. Because it turns everything in all of the effort and all that I'm doing. And there are other people in the FMA world that are doing what I'm, doing it to this level and really care about skills and properly passing on knowledge and stuff like that. It makes us like people fucking start tying us into that bullshit. Gotta stay light. It was through same school as Jake Mace initial stuff. Okay. Well, Jake Mace he's never done Collie, so. I agree with you with how you look at this topic. I do think it can serve as a sign of respect from your teacher to you. Just like you said, when it comes from someone you respect as well. Maybe. If it's actually genuine, but I don't think, especially in FMA, I don't think many certificates are genuine anymore. Because then what happens when a grand master of an organization is mad at you and says your certifications are stripped away? That happens in FMAs. Yes, there you go. I like that. You can get respect from your teachers and training partners in many different ways. Yes, absolutely. But Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, I just want to jump on here, and I'm kind of making some changes with the channel here. We'll do some fun drills from time to time, like my last video. I think I did some double stick, double sword stuff. But I do want to come on here and do some workouts and do some stuff like this as well. Kind of give some of my own, I guess, perspectives and things from time to time. Um, Everything that is based around Collie, and give you guys some different perspectives on training, solo training, partner training, all that stuff. And I am still working on the development of the Collie Foundation home study course, which is 100% solo training over at colliecenter.training, which is our whole online training academy. We got a whole bunch of programs and courses over there. But the Collie Foundation home study course is 100% solo training. And as I'm building my training arena, I'm going to be doing more videos. And then there's going to be not just like the training aspect, like the Collie techniques, but also with part of the Area 12 with some of the fitness stuff. And I want to kind of show you guys also some of the stuff that I'm doing. I'll probably make some of the YouTube videos as well on that stuff coming up here. Because I think, I believe it's really important. There's a lot of stuff that I do that I've been doing for a very long time, for decades now, behind the scenes that I haven't shared with people, as far as some of my obsessive, addictive training drills and ways that I train, exercises, and specific things that I do. That have helped me over the decades build the skill that I've been able to build and continue, and transfer those skills over to people like Tom and Ollie, John, and now the rest of our inner triangle. And then hopefully if you start coming out and training with us and coming out to events and spending time in person, then hopefully we can get you on with the inner triangle as well. And, get everybody part of the team and growing. So, sometimes it's tough to hear that whole inclusive stuff, or exclusive stuff. Exclusive versus inclusive. Social media has really made people around the world very soft, and everything has to be inclusive, but it just can't be that way with this stuff. I mean, if you can't train, then I can't have you come to certain events where everybody can train, because we just don't want to go through the process of, when we have our inner triangle meets, we don't want to take a whole day or 2 days to go through fundamentals where the people that have been training with me for a long time, for years and years and years, I think our newest inner triangle member has been training with us, for around 3 to 4 years now. And, this person's just extremely dedicated to training and extremely consistent in their training. And this person's skill is just growing very, very quickly and consistently. And people like that, I rather have events that are specific for the public, for those that are looking to kind of come into our training, and then also have events that are just for those who have been doing it for a while, for years, and have that skill, and we can just kind of keep going, but we can get people caught up pretty quickly, because the fundamentals, I mean, we've got that down, so we can get people trained up in that pretty fast. So, I had somebody get mad at me about a post that I made about that. They didn't really understand what I was saying. But that's the internet. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. I got low battery. My phone's going to die on me. I got to make dinner, and then I got my evening training that I got to do. I'll catch you back here next time from your no longer certified Collie coach here at Collie Center. All right, y'all. Have a good night, evening, morning,